Now, many times when you read the stories of men in the Old Testament, there is so much things you can learn from them. Now, it's a pity that we see people now try to project the thought that you don't need to read the Old Testament, leave it, just read the New Testament. No. There's a reason why the Old Testaments are there. God put them. God helped the people who inspired to combine the Bible to give us those books, because there is so much you can learn from them. In fact, when you read the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, I'll read from verse 5 to verse 12. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 from verse 5. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 from verse 5. Here Paul was giving example of the children of Israel in the wilderness. He said they walked with God. They saw me the miraculous pillar of cloud in the day and pillar of fire in the night. They drank from that rock. They ate angels' food, manna. A lot of things happened, good things for them. God showed them that they were his people. But here from verse 5, Paul now began to tell us something. He said, but with many of them, God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. The next verse, verse 6. The next verse. He says, now, these things were our what? Examples. So when we read about them, learn something from them. He said, these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. The next verse. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. The next verse, verse 8. Now, neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed and fell in one day, 23,000. The next verse, verse 9. Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. The next verse, verse 10. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. The next verse, verse 11. Now, all these things happen unto who? Unto them. For what? Examples. And they are written for what? Our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. You see that? He said they are written for our admonition. So there is a lot to learn when you study the word and you read the stories of men of the past. Find out those who were victorious. Find out those who God commended. Find out those who God spoke about. Find out those who the Spirit of God bore witness of their ministry. Find out the things they did that make God to commend them. Even when Jesus came, there were people he spoke good about. For example, John the Baptist. He says about John the Baptist. He says he was he's a bright and shining light. Is that correct? Because there was something John the Baptist said. When they came to meet him, to ask him, are you the Christ? He said, no. I'm only sent to speak, to reveal him to the nation. He says he will increase, but I what? I will decrease. That was even when the other disciples came and said, Master, the one you baptized, I'm not baptizing other people. And everybody's following him, thinking he'll be jealous. He says, no. No man can receive anything from God except it be given him. No man can receive anything from above except God gave it to him. He didn't come and start competing with Christ. No. He said, no, he will increase, but I will decrease. What a humility. So when Christ spoke to him, he commended him. He was a burning and a shining light, the testimony of Christ. And you see, Jesus also, in his ministry, there were things he did. When you look at them, you can see how you can apply them to your own life.